My name is Paola Armfield and I am from Bogota, Colombia. I came to know the Lord when I was 16 or 17 years old. I grew up in a Catholic family. I heard a lot about God, but I never really wanted to be in a relationship with Him because everything that had to do with Him was about tradition and doing a certain amount of rituals or fulfilling a certain amount of requirements. So I really didn't know about God's plan for salvation. When I was 16, I came to know about that and I became a believer. After I finished high school and after I worked for a year and a half teaching English, I realized that I wanted to study the Bible. I wanted to use whatever I learned to be able to serve people and to be able to point people to Christ, because ultimately that's what matters for eternity. So I didn't want to go to college just to get a great education for the purpose of getting money or being very smart, but I wanted my education even to count for God's mission and what He wants us to do as His disciples. It was hard because in Colombia, we didn't have institutions or colleges that would offer Bible education and a professional education as well. So I was a little confused on where the Lord was going to give me. But a friend of mine, we had graduated from high school together. She was at Emmaus already. And one time we were having a Skype date and she told me about it, about Emmaus and the programs. And she said, you know, you should really check and see if this is something you would like to do. I think from what you tell me, it's probably what the Lord would like you to do. So why don't you do it? And I did. I went online and read about Emmaus and read about the programs and read about the Bible education, and I said, that's exactly what I want. However, I was scared and I was doubting because I didn't know if I was going to have enough money to come, if it was going to be possible for me to come all the way from Colombia, South America, to the States to study, if that was going to even be possible. But the Lord gave me peace. I prayed about it, and each step of the way I was able to see His provision and His sovereignty. I would say that was the first lesson about God that He showed me in coming to Emmaus, His provision and His sovereignty. Then when it is His will for us to do something, for example, for me to come to Emmaus, He will open the doors and He will sustain and He will provide. Once I was here at Emmaus, I realized that there was so much more to the Bible than I thought there was. And that's another big lesson that I learned here at Emmaus, how rich and how full and how complete and how useful the Word of God is. I learned that it's not just something to be read every once in a while and then put behind me during the week, but it's the Word of God, and it has the power to transform, and you can go deep into it, and it is not just an academic book, but it impacts the way you live, the way you make decisions, the way you view the world, the way you communicate to the world the gospel. Also, at Emmaus, I learned the value of community, especially with my teachers and of course my friends. It was so comforting to know that my teachers would welcome me, sometimes even invite me to their homes to have a meal, to spend time, that they were willing to know how I was doing. It was very special to me because as a foreigner, I was already feeling out of place or missing home, and I always found here at Emmaus an open heart or an open house for me to be a part of this community. The value of friendship is something that I'm going to cherish forever out of my years at Emmaus, because during my time here, I made amazing friendships that would challenge me to look to the Lord and to follow His will. And that's another great blessing that I got from Emmaus. But I think the most important lesson that I learned during my time at Emmaus is that the relationship, your personal walk with the Lord, is the most important thing. You can have all the Bible classes you want. You can have all the friends, godly influences, godly teachers you want. But if you do not make it a point to walk with the Lord daily, to spend time with Him in prayer and to read His Word, to know His will personally for your life, then all of that will be for nothing. So Emmaus is a great tool, and I am always going to be grateful for my years at Emmaus.